Welcome back. Welcome, one and all. Hope you are all well as we watch the sun rise over the fir trees, just next to the eerie biome that's eating up a fir tree, which I must deal with before the crimson arrive. Welcome to episode 8 of FTB Infinity. I am ZurnZen. I have to start this episode by saying thank you to the wonderful offers I've had from numerous people to come and play on their servers. It warms my heart that you would want me to come along and join your merry band of people. Unfortunately, real life, it's a kick in the teeth sometimes, and unfortunately the job that I do sometimes involves a lot of my time, and the remaining time I need to devote to my beautiful partner. Who unfortunately is suffering because of my Minecraft addiction, that and the incessant demands of my working life. So I thought I'd start by saying thank you. I'm very grateful for the offers. Unfortunately, I can't do that. Maybe in the future, you never know. But I thought I'd start that by saying thank you, because it's a wonderful thought that you would even want me there. Very kind and very gracious offer. So today we've had questions from various people. A lot of them private messages. I don't mind. Private message me all you like, within reason, obviously. And I'm going to do my best to answer some of those questions. I hope I don't bore you along the way. Apart from that, let's get down to it. Okie dokie, we are down in front of our AE2 system. Nothing much has changed since last time. I have had a few questions about the AE2. I've been asked about these blocks. These are abyssal blocks. Now, you can only get abyssal in ocean biomes. So if we just have a quick look at the Mapperoonie. There we go. So you will only find abyssal blocks. If we zoom in, you can see where they are. Look, that's an abyssal. It's like a big geode in the ocean. And there's another one. If you dig down, you will find these large blocks of abyssal stone. Throw those in a furnace and bada boom, bada bing, you get abyssal block, which is quite a nice little black slab. It's quite tidy. And all I've done is just to step this out, I've used micro blocks where you get a saw, and let's just show you what one of those is. In fact, let me just get one out. Grab one out of my store. If I had one. That would be nice. Let's make one then. What have I got a lot of? Let's try ruby. If we go in there, we grab a ruby saw. And then I get some abyssal block. Why have I got... Oh, that's why. I'm on selected craft. The boy's a fool. So, you get abyssal block, like that. This is what it looks like before abyssal stone. I'll just pop that down so you can see that. That's when you mine it, that's what you get. Put it through a furnace, that's what you get. Nice polished block. I'm not quite sure that you can chisel this block. Let's have a look, see if you can do that. Throw my chisel up for the abyssal block. Oh, you can. You can do different ornate types of abyssal block, which I was not aware of. Still, you live and learn. So you get one of these, and to make flat slabs, just pop that down. You'll get some half blocks. If you want anything thinner, go again. So you can have different size panels. Go again, you can have really thin panels. And then eventually you can make up your own vertical steps, like this looks like a vertical step, but it's not. It's a half block slab with a block post, and the same down here. Pillars all around, so it actually looks like it steps out. It's quite a neat little trick. Just gives it a little bit of, a little bit of polish. That's all. Down here we installed the unifier from the man cave, and again all that's doing is making sure that we have the same singular set of ingots rather than railcraft and everything else. 3 or 4 different types of the same ingot. It's never good, and it jams up your system. What else have we got? Oh yeah, somebody did ask me about the elevators. Now the elevators are a cunning little thing. They come from open blocks. So if we just have a look at an elevator and show you the recipe for that, it's just wool surrounded an ender pearl. Nice and simple. And what you get is you get these nice white elevator blocks like that. Now as you can see, mine's red. So all you need to do, grab hold of a piece of dye. So let's just type in dye. I think I've got some red dye somewhere. Let's go red. There you go, rose red. And again, rose red you just make by picking up roses, putting them in your crafting window, and then you will get a dye out the side. Don't think I have any of those in my inventory. No. Have I got any flowers at all? No, I've got one, but that's Botania. Anyway, so if you want to dye these, because at the moment if I try use this on top of this, it won't go. So white will only go to a white elevator, red will only go to a red. So if we pop down here, you can see we've got a red elevator there. So if I press space on that, you jump up. Press shift, you jump down. Just like that. So to dye these, hold your dye, right click, boom, you got a red elevator. Nice and simple. And that's open blocks. Jolly good little block. So let's pop that back inside with all this other junk. What else have we expanded on? Let's have a look over here. We now have, I've tidied this up a little bit, given it some proper ornate edgings. Tidied up the QED. Even put in some brewing stands so we can make like magnum torches and things in here, which will keep mobs away up to 64 blocks, I believe. I've got some magna. Honestly, every episode. These are magnum torches. Not to be confused with Magnum PI. He had a red Lamborghini and a guy that flew around in a helicopter. This is just a magnum torch, and what that'll do is that it will make sure that there's no mob spawns here within 64 blocks, I believe it is. So that's kind of good, so you don't have any creepers creeping up on you. Let's pop back down here. Now, here we have our fluid transposer system. Now, what this does is sometimes you'll have crafting recipes up in AE that will require buckets of either ender fluid or redstone, destabilized redstone. This will be, what's that going to be? That's going to be glowstone, I believe. Liquid glowstone, and then we've got lava. There's going to be another one here for water. And all this does is if you require a recipe that has some kind of bucket in it, let's just think of actually enderium, I believe. Enderium. So if we have a look at enderium ingot, that's made of pyrotheum dust and enderium blend in a smelter. So what makes enderium blend? Right, there you go, you see. You have your pulverized shiny metal, your tins, and silver dust with a resonant ender bucket. Now, if you were to make this up there, it would obviously throw these in if you have them in your store, in your inventory, but it wouldn't throw this in. You'd have to manually come over here with a bucket and just basically click on this, and then you get a bucket of magic enderium. Whereas this, if you request it, I've got ender pearls constantly being pumped into this top. Down here, it's constantly going to be thrown into a bucket if this requests it. So I've thrown in a pattern here to say 1 bucket equals 1 bucket of resident ender. So if it calls for one, this will throw in a bucket into here, which will then, if you just do that, pop that in there, there you go, you see, makes a bucket, disappears, goes into the system. If I look in here for a bucket, as you can see there, I've now got 2. I had one in there earlier. So that's rather handy if ever you want buckets in your recipe. It's going to be a constant source of fluid. I've got a little lava one here. This is, let me just pop round the back. Let's go see the wizard again. Up here I have a lava fabricator, which will just perpetually make lava for me, only at a slow rate, but I don't use it that much when I'm crafting, so it's quite handy. You get basically 1,000 millibuckets in there, but that fills this, and the reinforced portable tank, let's see how many buckets that has. Tankarune, reinforced portable tank. That holds 128 buckets. So right here I've got 256 buckets of lava. More than I will ever need. And again, down here, there will be, I haven't done this yet, there will be a bucket of lava down there. And that's the system. I've just got ME interfaces underneath the fluid transposers. The fluid transposers say accept fluid from the top. Spit out anything in here down to red, which is directly above an ME interface, and that is connected to our system. So that bucket will immediately go into our system. Up here, I've got can't fly. I've got export buses, which is just basically saying to the system over there, my AE system, export any ender pearls you can find straight into this chest. So this chest, at the moment, it's not quite full, but this chest, once it's filled up with ender pearls, any other ender pearls will go back into my system and start filling up that system. It will take a while, obviously, so you may not want to have this active all the time if you need ender pearls, but if you do need ender pearls, you can always just pop down here and grab them out. There you go, and it will automatically refill. It's rather handy if you've got a lot of ender pearls. I don't at the moment. I've not had my system running downstairs with enderman in it for a while, so I need to top that up. In this one we have redstone, so that's constantly saying fill me with redstone. It doesn't seem to have much redstone in it. Let's have a look. Oh, crikey Moses, I'm out of redstone in there. I never thought that would happen. I thought I had more than enough. But I've got some blocks, so I can just still throw some in there like that. That's quite alarming. Didn't realise I didn't have that much redstone. This one will be for glowstone, but I don't have that much at the moment. So I'm going to basically just do it by hand for now until I can get a lot more of this glowstone. Let's put a few stacks in here. So let's just pop that in there, and that will start dribbling down into this machine, magma crucible, which turns it into energized glowstone. That then drops through here. You can't see it in this tank at the moment because each of these machines has a reservoir of 10 buckets to fill up. So as you can see at the moment, the energized glowstone's filling up, and the same will apply down here. I will pop a pattern in there. It says 1 bucket equals 1 bucket of energized glowstone. So if anything needs it, it will suck it straight out, and off we go. So that's that. Nice little addition. It's really handy. It's eaten a lot of ender and redstone, but hey ho, once that's filled, I will never need for that ever again. I will never need to go out and sort it out myself, which is rather handy. Upgraded this slightly. We now have 264 crafting storage up there for bigger things, because I'm looking to craft bedrockium at the moment, which I'll get to in a second. Expanded this a little bit. We got more molecular assemblers and ME interfaces. I'll slowly build this up until it absolutely fills this wall. And the same with this, I'll build some more of these. I'll put another stack here. Probably another 2 stacks on this side. It's bigger than I'll ever need, but it's handy to have. So that's this level. I've still yet to sort this out. Actually, I've put this little room over here. I had these little fellas, these essence berry bushes, which are good for XP. So if I just bring up the berries, so to speak, what happens is, over time these will grow and they will create little berries on them. These little fellas that you see here. This machine here is a harvester. Oh, I need to get rid of that sludge. is a harvester, and what that will do is once these are ripe, the berries are ripe to pick, this machine will pick them. It's fueled by a little hardened energy cell. It doesn't take that much power. So power squirts in there when it needs it, and then that squirts the berries out into an ender chest. And this ender chest is the triple white, which is connected to my AE system up there. Or across there. Or is it across there? I'm old, leave me alone. I've put, because this needs to be a dark room for them to grow fast, I've put half slabs down so nothing, apart from there actually. I wonder if we've got any slabs left. Let's just have a look, see. Oh, those will do. It's only a dark room, so I'll just pop them down there. Because if you don't have these half slabs down, then mobs will spawn in here. They won't spawn on half slabs. So if you pop some half slabs down, it'll be a mob free in here. They won't spawn on top of here. As soon as you go on here, you take damage. So that's this room. Nice and easy. I've put this little trapdoor here because I don't want to constantly drop down and have to jump up. They won't spawn on top of trapdoors either. So that's rather handy. I've just popped in a little carpenter's door with some of the abyssal stone that I have there. Just pop that on top and it's made a little door. Simple. Nothing much added here. I've added apatite and stone because eventually I'm going to make the ender quarry a silk touch, so it will silk touch the stone rather than the cobble. So I have another idea that I'm going to do for the cobble. I'm going to make a separate cobble generator, and that's for bedrockium. So let's pop over here and let's talk bedrockium. Here we go with the heavy tech again. We have drums in this game. Now these drums, at the moment, can support 256 buckets. And you've seen me use these drums before on the grinders for the mobs, and you get mob essence, which we use downstairs for the auto spawners. The auto spawners require mob essence. So every time you grind up a mob, you get a little bit of essence. Now, these only being 256, you can only get 256 buckets worth in there. And after a while, it becomes a pain because these fill up quite quickly, and then they empty quite quickly with the auto spawner, as that requires a lot, especially if you want to spawn an exact copy of something. Like, for example, wither skeletons. If you want to spawn wither skeletons down there, it'll take a considerable amount of mob essence to do that. Now, you don't want to be filling this up all the time, so there is something in this game called bedrockium, which is a wonderful thing. Now, you get this thing called bedrockium drum. Now, look at that. 65 million buckets. So, I've made one of those already. They take quite a lot to make. They take bedrockium ingots. Now, one bedrockium ingot is made of a triple compressed cobblestone. That's 729 cobblestone to make one of these. And then you also need quadruple compressed, which is 6,561 cobblestone just to make one of them. So as you can imagine, that takes quite a hefty amount. Now, it does go up to sextuple, I believe. Let's just have a look. Let's have a look at cobble. And where are we? Here we are. So let's start at the very, very beginning. It's apparently a very good place to start, as somebody famous once said. 9 cobble will make 1 compressed cobblestone. 81 will make a double compressed. And we start going up. 729 for triple. 6,561 for quadruple. If you go into quintuple, it's 59,000. Sextuple, 531,000. Septuple, 4.7 million. And then look, octuple, 43 million just to make one. But the good thing about the septuple and the octuple is that they are witherproof. So you could build a wither prison to do some wither spawning using this, and it can throw bombs to its heart's content, and it will not damage a thing. There are better ways of doing it. You could use Stormcraft warded glass. That will also stop withers, which is something that we will be looking at further down the line. But for now, so once you've made That makes 1 bar, so all of these and a block of diamond makes 1 of these bedrockium ingots. Now, these bedrockium ingots, if you put them together, you can make, with a cauldron and some weighted pressure plates, which again are just made of 2 gold, and a cauldron, which we all know the recipe for that. Nice and simples. We'll make 1 bedrockium drum. 65.5 million buckets. So let me pop downstairs. Let's see how full our bucket is. Let's go. Fall all the way down. Gracefully, of course, gracefully. And I always face the wrong way. Oh, the bleeding slimes. Get out of it. Get out of it. Get off my land. Oh, that had an neighbour. Oh, look, it's got a piggy on its head. Oh, little piggy. Oh, little piggy. Die, piggy. And let's just get rid of the interlopers. Yeah, I found out the other night. I built this all in a slime chunk. Great. Which is fabulous. So all these slimes are going to keep spawning until I fill in all the areas from level 40 down to this area. If I just pop behind it, you'll see a little bit more work that I've been doing behind here. I've been expanding the reactor area. Eventually I'm going to have 1 reactor providing steam. Oh, leave me alone. Oh, just come out of the woodwork, why don't you? Eventually I'm going to have 1 of these creating... Get out of it! Creating steam. And 1 of them creating power. The steam will go on to power some steam turbines that I'm going to look at. But that's further down the line. I just thought I'd do some expansion down here. While I've got the time off camera, just creating a few things ready for that. This is another future project. Kind of giving you a sneak preview. Don't know why I'm looking at that. So, where were we going? We're going over to the auto spawner. Hello, little Enderman. Are you actually running? I believe you might be. I think. Let's just have a look. Let's pop in here and have a look. No, that's not running. As you can see there, it's idle. And it doesn't have any essence. So let's go have a look. See why it doesn't have any essence. Ooh, I've just cleaned these up a little bit. We've got some blocks of ruby, which I thought was quite nice, quite subtle. Just a subtle little hint down here. I quite like the nether. It's obviously nether brick. Because this is supposed to be a nasty area. The killing rooms. Yeah, the killing rooms. Are you going to die in there? Are you going to die? Are you going to die? Oh, is it time for you to fall over? Oh, there you go. I've also popped witches in here as well. Good thing about that is that they give glowstone and redstone, which I am woefully lacking. And then spiders give me string. So I've got quite a bit of stuff coming out of there, which I'll show you just behind there. But yeah, I've also included a few more grinders in here, so they can't hide. Because I found that they was hiding in little corners where the grinders couldn't quite get to. Not done it in this room so much. Never really seen it as a problem in this room. They don't tend to hide, they just tend to die in there. Oh, and I've also, as you can see there, let me just open this again. Sorry, I'm back and forward. I've popped another auto spawner in the floor, and I've also raised the roof and moved that up about 3 blocks, something like that. This is so I can have double spawns going here. This at the moment has a ghast in it, so I can spawn ghasts in this room, which I will show you in a second. So if we nip behind here. Right, these are the old essence drums that I had, which currently have a good 100,000 in there. Oh, that one's empty. All I'm doing is I'm just emptying the old buckets. So let's take you off there. Grab a hold of you. Put that chisel out of the way. Pop that in my hotbar. Drop that on top. That'll go sucking out into the system. And, ooh, lag spike. Yep, lag spike as the auto spawner decided to start. You can hear it now. If we pop round here, you should see some ghasts and endermen. There you go. Ghasts having a bad time. Oh, isn't that a shame? Oh, hello, little ghast. Hello. Oh, you fall down. Hello, hello. Oh, you fall down. Yes, it's deceptively level is that floor. It's very slippy. Careful, careful, you might take a tumble. You might take a tumble. Are you gonna... Oh, there you take a tumble. Yeah. Slips, trips and falls, girls and boys. Always plan your route. So, silliness aside. This system here, it's killing them and it's squirting the XP, sorry, the mob juice, all the way back to the grinder. So it's kind of self-perpetuating. But you also need this system on this side, just constantly killing mobs and giving me some mob juice in this bedrocking drum, which currently has 571,000. A little bit more than that. And I can just leave this chugging away quite happily. I will set up a pipe across here that will auto-feed this system. I've yet to figure out how I'm going to sort this out, because it seems to be when these kill something, it just seems to be feeding that drum rather than feeding that grinder. So I may have to integrate a drum somewhere along the line and pipe it directly across here into the drum first, rather than piping it into the drum here. There seems to be some cross-flow issues going on there. And then all the drops pop down into here, which I've shown you before. So I should click that. Get some quite nice drops out of this. Come down here periodically. I probably will put an ender chest like that one there to link it to the system. But the thing is, it gets full of this junk, and I don't want all this junk in my system. That's a project for another day, I think. So let me just pop these into the system really quickly. Get rid of that as well. Nope. There we go. So, oh yes, I didn't actually finish what I was saying about the enderberries. Listen to me with my senior moment. Once that harvester upstairs collects the essence berries, you just basically pick them up, right click them, and boom, you get XP. Look at that. So it's always handy if you want to enchant a book or anything you want really that needs... are you going to fall? Are you going to fall? Are you going to fall? Oh, you've fallen. So it's rather handy. So yeah, I'm killing ghasts to get ghast tears, so I can get more safari nets, so I can get more animals, so I can have more killing down here. Yeah, this is the killing fields. And don't forget, if there's anything in here that you want to know more about, whether you want to know more about this, how does this open a door? Well, I can tell you that. That's done by a little drawbridge that's just inside here. I'm not going to open this now, because that'd be like unleashing the gates of hell. But that is a little drawbridge inside there, with 3 bits of glass inside. In fact, if I turn this off... Oh, you've got a nice hat. It's a very big hat. It's a very silly hat. Right, so that's switched off, so if I open this, if I just pop in there, this is a drawbridge. And if I just show you how a drawbridge is made, this is just a basic drawbridge made of bronze, ingots, blank cast, dispenser and redstone. Gives you one of these. So I just pop that there. I've told it to have 3 pieces of dark glass, and it's also camouflageable. So if I take that, is camouflageable a word? Camouflage. It's all, this block will disguise. That's what it normally looks like. So obviously it sticks out like a sore thumb in this. Doesn't really fit in with anything. So if you pop a block in, let's call it the disguise slot, then as you can see, it just blends in. It just looks like another normal block. And then obviously I'm controlling it with a lever on there, which is actually sending a redstone signal through here into that block. So as soon as I switch this on, this block becomes live, which actually triggers that block. And down comes the drawbridge. 3 pieces of glass. Would you believe it? Oh yeah, I've also tidied this area up. We've now got factory blocks on the floor. It's all very industrial, which is what I wanted this bottom level to look like. I may dirtify this. Is dirtify a word? Let's invent more words. Yes, the Mammoth Club will be proud. So I will dirty this up. We've got the factory blocks on the roof. Factory blocks are a really nice addition to this, because you can get some really good really good block types off this. As you can see there, that's the one you want to make. Nice and simple again, just stone and iron ingots surrounding it. From that, with the chisel, so if I grab, have I got actually any in my store? Let's have a look. Let's have a look for factory blocks. I've got 8 in there. Let's have a look at those. Let's pop in the chisel. So if I get the chisel out, pop them in there. This is the default. This is what you want to make. So when you do that factory block recipe, this is what you will end up with. So you just pop them in there and you get all these different types. So there you can see the hazard tape block that I used for the sides of the ME unit. You've got different types. You've got this orangey one. The factory block circuits are on the side of the ME unit. These fancy metal boxes. There's all kinds of silly things. Some really nice additions. And it's also dependent on your texture pack as well. These, if you use Sfax, you get some really, really nice textures in factory block using Sfax. I'm just using Faithful 32, which is like the original default textures, but a little bit more high res. It's not the full one, as you can see. These are quite low res because I think some of the chisel is not part of my old Faithful 32. I've tried the new Faithful 32 that's currently on the FTB loader, but unfortunately that doesn't have this ME ring at the top, and it makes it go all horrible, whereas that looks real pretty. Now, these are the factory blocks that I was just talking about. They're lovely little blocks, and they also make a nice thunk when you put them down, as if they are made of metal. Really nice. So, enough talking turkey. Let's move on. Other changes that we've done, we've started moving around this side. You can see this is it in its raw form when I first build it up. I'll get to that section in a second. I've just thrown down a very crude enchantment table area, and this is the enchanter. Ender IO again to the rescue. What you can do with this is if you throw in a book and quill into here, and you can basically choose which one you want. So if I want infinity, I just pop an ender pearl in there and I will get infinity 1. What else is good in here? Like fortune. If you put 4 emeralds, you'll get fortune 1. But if you put 8 emeralds, you'll get fortune 2. I think it's 8 emeralds, fortune 2. You just basically double it all the time, and then you will get the next level up, which is rather handy. So if you want Silk Touch, which is just a level 1, pop in a slime ball, you get Silk Touch 1, nice and handy. Same from breaking, efficiency. You know, if you add more of this, I think it's 36, gives you efficiency 3. You know, looting, all kinds of these things. Really, really handy. It's very rare I use this now, unless I'm wasting some XP. Most of the time I just use this fella. A book and quill, nice and easy to make. Ink sac, book and feather. Jolly good. Popped an anvil there so I can rename these things that I get. Rename the books or rename my armour and things like that. Haven't done that. That's one of those things I eventually get round to doing. So let's just pop over here. We're starting to expand on the Thorncraft. We're going to get ready for the main Thorncraft build in here. I've also popped down the ME crafting, which is just basically a pipe that runs up all the way to the top. Excuse me, that was a hiccup. How very rude. So that runs up there because I'm going to have Thormic crafting, which is part of ME, down here. So rather than having lots of jars on the walls holding various essentia, I'm going to have it actually pump into the ME system, which is all very swish, but that's again another future episode. Spoiler alert. And that's it on this level. That's all we've managed to achieve so far. Not very much, unfortunately. I've been exceptionally busy. Exceptionally been a rather underused word. I've just been crazily busy. So apologies for that. That's that's why this video is a little bit late. I always try to achieve 2 videos a week. I try. Unfortunately, it's all down to my working schedule in real life, which at the moment is very, very hectic. So apologies for that. Okay, so I think that's looking like the end of another episode. I did say last episode we were going to go fight some bosses, but when I'm asked questions about how I do things, I like to respond. And I'm sorry if you don't like that. I'd just like to make sure that, I try answer people's questions if they're interested. It's only polite to see if I can answer those for you, and hopefully give you a little bit of a clue as to how I do things, how I build. I mean, to be honest, I haven't got a clue how I do these things half the time. I just crack on and then they just tend to work. Again, form follows function as far as I'm concerned. Now, I will try to get back to mob slaying, or should I say dying, on a regular basis in the next episode. But if you do have any questions, any comments, don't be scared of asking. If you want, you can private message me. More than happy to answer any questions. And if it's something that you want to see in the videos, again, I'll do my best to try show those things that you want to know about. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out. What's the word we shall use today? It helps me out, I don't know, egregiously. Yes. Although that's probably not the right word. But anyway, it would help me out if you would like and subscribe. Again, feel free to comment, feel free to put down questions, things you want to know, or if you just want to say hi, I'm happy with that. It lets me know that you're out there and you're enjoying what I'm putting out. So, this is ZurnZen. I'll see you on the flip side. Much love.